UMG Prime $1,200 4v4 Search and Destroyer hopping into another round between Gravity Gaming and Academy. Of course, Gravity Gaming consisting of Anihmal, MShake, Hate, and Skyz. And take a look at Skyz. He happens to get, I want to say that was a random shot through the smoke. Takes out JKrillex. In a fantastic beginning for him. Nearly gets another, I don't know if that's just intuition or maybe a call out from a teammate, but regardless, this man is one to be looking out for when it comes down to the sniper rifle for this group. Spots that recover on the flank, or from the flank rather. And now it's up to DeoX in a 1 versus 3. Of course, the group from Academy consisting of DeoX, JKrillex, Segatar rather, and Recover. With DeoX currently sitting in a 1 versus 3. Of course, having his teammates feeling the struggle of Skyz a sniper rifle, and he peeks out again. And Skyz making this look easy. I believe this is a hat trick in the round. Spots the head of DeoX. I think DeoX wasn't really fully aware that his position had been found, but Skyz making it look easy. Incredible play with that sniper rifle here in round number 1. Of course, to get you guys a little bit familiar, this Gravity Gaming lineup has been a team throughout most of World War II. And I believe they ended up having a top 40 placement at CWL Dallas, which is, you know, very respectable. I think, honestly, I mean, to be totally real, well, like a top 64 placement even is kind of a normalcy when it comes to the open bracket at tournaments these days, just because the level of competition is just incredibly high. As Skyz yet again adding toward his slang category. As the nade to drop the first blood, up close and personal fight, MShake shuts down Segatar. And if you're JKrillex, you have a sniper rifle right in front of you, a player just above you. But Recover. 1 on 3. Some shots on the Hate, but regardless, this is not going to be a round that he secures anytime soon. But kind of talking about Gravity Gaming, we of course have to discuss the guys on Academy. Not super familiar with Segatar, but I have heard of Recover, I think, in the past. I might have seen him maybe in a tournament, maybe even casted over him. I think maybe in a Ghost tournament. Could be wrong on that. But most likely I've heard of the name of DeoX and JKrillex. Both these guys actually played, I believe, under SKRD, which was a group with Saint and Reviction, who later became Armada, I believe at CWL Dallas as well. I believe both those players were at Dallas. So, it dropped, I believe, a few days ago, maybe around a week ago. Now trying to make their way forward, but Segatar showing that he can also pull the sniper rifle. Skyz finally dying with that sniper rifle in hand. As Hate continuing to do some damage, yet to die. As USS Texas, we talked about this map, of course, prone to sniper rifles, as we've already seen it become a major impact for Skyz as well as Segatar. But Hate trying to clear out this B bomb site, and really when it comes to USS Texas, you can make a full-on rotation to either bomb site in a matter of moments. Just a walk through midship. A tedious and a very risky walk, I say. Or might add. But it looks like MShake could be getting the bomb down. Yeah, I believe MShake's getting the bomb down. Hate continuing to be a nuisance. Just finding kind of these mid-range, unorthodox kills. It looks like Segatar's yet again there with the sniper rifle. Could easily find one on here on Hate. Hate has to be wary of that he has a sniper rifle out, getting challenged from the side. Can he stay up? But no, the headshot, I believe, from the flank. As Segatar finishes off with 3. As he's just going to show that not only Skyz can get work done with a sniper rifle, and let alone get a hat trick with a sniper rifle, Segatar can do it as well. And so looking on to this next round, I really would kind of want to be focusing on both Segatar and Skyz, just to see how those first bloods are going to be going. And it looks like early nade coming out. This time it's Anihmal who's able to shut down Recover. And it looks like could have been a snipe that goes through 2 crucial misses there for Segatar, as he wishes he could get those back. And with Skyz lingering toward top ship, that is a rather unfortunate hit marker to grab, and it wasn't even a leg shot. That was like a neck shot. But in the beginnings of beginning of this round, rather, there's a few shots that you'd like to see Segatar probably grab, but too little, too late. As he will get picked off, and Gravity are able to chalk up yet again another round here. in this map number 1. Of course, discussing this particular map in this overall series count. Of course, we do play best of 3s leading up into the finals. That one would be a best of 5, but we will be seeing, of course, here at USS Texas for map 1, Armed Force for map 2. And if it does come down to a map 3, it would be Search and Destroy on St. Marie Dumont. The jump shot there from Skyz, I like the idea from that. Doesn't work out for him in the end, as you just kind of see the progression up, the random no-scope through the top. Nice little side peek there to shut out Segatar, as it looks like that sniper battle is still going on. Anihmal doesn't realize there's someone actually in his top ship. And, of course, the mini-map's a little bit small in the Codcaster. It's a little bit difficult to see who is exactly positioned where. But currently, 3 versus 4. Skyz still trying to peek out, and I was talking about how that kind of proning up shot is just incredibly lethal. If you have the centering down, you can definitely find picks, but like I said, Anihmal, MShake, both finding 2. JKrillex is there to shut down 1, and that's not going to leave Anihmal in a position to clutch. Bomb not in his hands. Spots the feet of JKrillex on the stairs. The reach challenge coming in from DeoX. And a 1 versus 1. Can Anihmal get this done? The machine pistol is out, and JKrillex challenges, and it will work out in his favor, but a very risky challenge at that. And that's just a matter of JKrillex just happens to go for the peak. I don't believe Anihmal obviously did have Mountain on, so position was known. And is able to spot him out. So with that, a big second round gain there for the boys on Academy, as they're going to try to bring this one back. Of course, currently DeoX sitting at 0-4. As we get to see how this first pick can maybe work out. Early nades. Looks like that was a smoke as well tossed out. Maybe just a stun. Kind of hard to tell. But Skyz actually takes down his own teammate. Anihmal. Maybe a little bit of frustration probably going down in that TeamSpeak call, Discord call, whatever they want to use. But definitely some frustration being shown, and Segatar has to be very careful. There's actually a certain point of view where if Skyz can jump up that you could get picked off, but spots the corner, and you see how crucial this fight really is. Granted, Anihmal gets taken out by his teammate Skyz, but that sniper duel is definitely setting the pace for these rounds. And Segatar is starting to heat up a little bit. Krillix tossing out that nade onto the B just to make sure that things are clear. You hear those sniper bullets still being fired. As it looks like Sega is rotating here toward B, and Skyz is just below him. Does he spot him? Does he realize him? No, just too little, too late. Skyz making that head glitch toward that bottom side. Is going to give his team a man advantage right now, and Recover still has a smoke, I believe, to use. So maybe if they can try to push out one site, push out one lane, and toss a smoke, they can have most lanes covered. But DeoX has to get inside. He has to try to weather the storm right now. 2-on-2, nade thrown out. And it looks like player number 3, Hate, is actually on the bomb. Tries to go for the rush, but doesn't realize what's right in front of him. MShake 1 versus 2. And he is going to hop on the defuse. You see Recover coming from the side. He might not get here in time. Can he get the timing worked out in his ways? Shake is able to get it, I believe. Yes. Just in the nick of time, MShake gets the sneak defuse in the 1 versus 2. And just like that, Gravity have found their 4th round. As back and forth, it looked like it was going to go Academy's way. Then Gravity gets the man count advantage. We see the great kind of side peek that came in from Skyz to shut down Segatar. Turns into a 2 versus 2, and then from there, MShake, the clutch diffuse is the overall intuition, just going to hop on it. It's a very risky play, but it can work out from time to time, and of course it does there. As a very nice rush coming in from Anihmal. I like this play a lot, just being a very unpredictable area. And you see Recover has no reason to want to check this. I mean, there's no reason why a player should be in his top left corner. And I like the play from Anihmal. Uses the trigger to split up close and personal fight. Doesn't realize that DeoX is around the corner. And so the trade could be shut up for Skyz. But it looks like MShake rather, is able to take out Krillix. And now we find ourselves in a 1 versus 2. DeoX trying to hold that head glitch strong, but MShake has to go for the challenge. A very weak DeoX is only 1 bullet away from death. And death is exactly what we see is 5 rounds to 2. Overall dominance being shown from the Gravity group. And it's just really massive props to Anihmal in that position. Of course, the smoke gets tossed out, and he's able to kind of get behind that box area. Catches off one from the side, and at least is able to make one be a little bit wary. That was DeoX who ends up finishing him off, but still, very solid positioning. As you see, just the inches, rather, that Caesar and Segatar are getting right now, and Skyz goes for the shot. Isn't able to spot him, or isn't able to finish him off, rather, but MShake does have the call out and does get picked off from the side. Nice angle there coming in from JKrillex. They're desperately wanting to get some streaks earned. They want to get the bomb down, but they've already picked off 2 players, but an unneeded rush from Anihmal, as he'll get picked off, and now it's left up to Skyz in a 1 versus 4. The smoke is the only thing hiding his position, and he's most likely relying on a sneak defuse, but takes out Krillex. One right in front of him. He knows that he's in midship. Player coming from the flank, and just a few moments where it looked like Skyz could have maybe found 2 kills. But a sigh of relief from the guys on Academy. As Segatar comes from the flank, Granite gets a few shots tagged in the side of him, but does secure a 5th round. And looking at it, I don't believe we have any streaks earned from anybody. If you at least look at the score totals, I mean, you'd like to imagine that based off that, no one really should be in prime position to do so, but and Skyz, you see, looking for that potential first blood, but I don't believe that Segatar is anywhere to be found at the moment when it comes down to being in back A. As for the most part, we've been seeing quite a few rushes over on this particular bomb site throughout a lot, and Anihmal is going to have 4 players run right in front of him. You see all of them making their way through. Segatar finding 2. That's the reason why Skyz can't even find him. It's because Segatar's with the SMG, and honestly, if you're in Skyz's position, you don't really need to be pre-aiming this anymore, but regardless, shuts down recover. And so Skyz gets picked off, and just like that, 5 rounds to 4. Academy, the risky 4-man rush through mid-ship as they just kind of group up and rush the enemy spawn. It's constant 4v1, 4v2 fights. And like I said, if you're in Skyz's position, he's most likely not looking at the kill feed. And the only guy who's been challenging him with that sniper rifle has been Segatar. And you see Segatar with the SMG. Yeah, his teammates are obviously dying. And not that, of course, I believe it's Skyz who ends up finishing off a kill in that situation. But still, man, gotta be realizing where these players are coming from. Maybe Anihmal just wasn't able to spawn through the death cam, but Hate able to drop 1 there for the first kill. First blood found. And Anihmal gets dropped. He tries to make a sneaky play. Nearly 2 found for recover. MShake gets the trade. Man disadvantage right now for the offensive team, a.k.a. Academy. Up close, a personal fight. JKrillex isn't ready, and now DeoX is last alive, the man who's been struggling so far in the search and destroy. Can he turn it up? Can he bring it back? Takes out 1 player just toward his left. Can't get the reaction time. Hate will find the first blood and the final one, not just of this round, but of map number 1. As USS Texas toward the end started to get a little bit scary. If you are Gravity Gaming, you were up 5 rounds to 2, I believe. And little by little, we started to see a little bit of momentum be gained from Academy. But just in total, I really think that kind of 4-man rush that we see in just the round prior to this one, in round number 9, I believe it was. I mean, just a 4-man rush kind of into what is kind of the flank, but really isn't really a flank. It just kind of depends. But in the enemy's top ship side, I mean, that was just a very smart play. You see Anihmal, who's kind of hanging on those stairs, had no idea that there was about to be 4 enemies who were just kind of about to hop in his line sight. But really, it kind of came down to the sniper battle, and it was really Skyz who was kind of dominating throughout the first 2 rounds. Of course, we start to see Segatar start to pick it up. I think he ends up joining alongside of Skyz throughout like round 5, round 6, they start to be even in kills. But for the most part, it was really the sniper duel who was kind of finding those first bloods. And finding those first bloods when it comes down to being on the offensive side with the sniper rifles is incredibly important because that can open up a sight over toward A. Gentlemen, of course, the UMG Prime $1,200 4v4 search and destroy. We've got Gravity. We've got Academy. As we're heading toward map number 2, it was Gravity, of course, who took USS Texas. And now looking on here in the Arden Forests. We'll see what they can try and provide as we're going to see a smoke off the start. Looks like MShake being granted with some beginning fire. As Hate trying to hold things down inside of cabin. As I like to play on offense. I was kind of talking about heading into this particular map. How do the smokes get utilized? As that was a major issue that we got to see on display from the boys on Defy Rebellion, I believe, on Armed Force. They're having constant issues with trying to get toward that A site, and just not having any smokes, of course, leaves you very, very vulnerable. And coming through the flank right now is Hate. Only player to find a kill so far in this round, let alone in this game. But Skyz challenging from one angle, and Hate does get picked off through mid. Nice shot there coming in from JKrillex, and the jump shot coming in from Skyz. He is the STG. Obviously has the decent shot up close, but the long range is where it can really succeed. And however, will not be able to make much more of that. But like I said, the smoke gets tossed out through middle. I like the play because whenever you rush through middle on offense, of course, and you toss out that smoke, the enemy's blind, but of course they also don't know which side are they going to choose, because the way that Arden Forest works is that there's different cuts where you can either go toward cabin or you can kind of go through ruins. So once they find that first blood, they're kind of relying on the player who, like MShake, who dies in that position. I think he dies behind tank. He, in his death cam, isn't able to see where anyone goes. So in that particular situation, it's like, well, I died. I'm not sure if they're flanking through back cabin or if they're rushing through ruins. Of course, they do end up going through ruins because Hate's holding inside a cabin, but they don't really gain a whole lot of information. So smart play as Segatar does take out Skyz. Not sure if Skyz did have the sniper rifle out or not, but throughout Arden Forest as well. Segatar pulling the car out and doing some work with it. MShake has to be careful with this nade and does happen to just rush forward for it. Takes out DeoX. 2-on-2. Up close, a personal fight. MShake making it look easy. Finds 2 out of the 3. And Krillex is the last man alive. Krillex, I believe, also has a sniper rifle. Yeah, so they actually rock 2 sniper rifles. And this one is Hate. Holds that B-Dom head glitch well. But I'm curious, I really wasn't able to see throughout most of this round where JKrillex was lingering at. But of course, we see JKrillex. We also see Segatar with sniper rifles. So might have seen JKrillex potentially go toward cabin on A. But something to be looking at when it comes into future defensive rounds for the boys on Academy. Yeah, it's a very unorthodox strat to see 2 sniper rifles be brought out. But regardless, looks like smokes on the set, and that's just why it's so important. And smokes can possibly be when it comes into pushing over toward cabin as the rush starts to come forward. JKrillex is at least able to find the trade, but can he find the second? The shots through the cabin walls, granted they are pretty weak, but bullets aren't strong enough to make it through, as it will be Skyz quickly left in a 1 versus 2 fight. As DeoX will be smart to get the bomb down. Up close and personal, though. Recover is there. And just overall, very smart play from Recover. I believe he has a decent idea as to where Skyz could be at. He's basically just watching the flank, but doesn't move his point of view whatsoever. And a lot of guys will kind of hold that particular point of view, just holding the head glitch, and just decides to go in prone. And that's obviously a point where a lot of players who are kind of rushing around that corner usually are looking toward a prone player kind of lingering on the ground. Of course, the snow can obviously play a little bit of a factor on vision and whatnot, but also the kind of the butt of your gun, in the first-person point of view, can kind of distract that. But it is Anihmal for the second time in this game, finding that first blood through mid-map. And have to be aware, Segatar with that sniper rifle, Hates. Here's the bullet whistle past the ear, and now it's a question of, do we rotate toward A? Player number 6, Skyz, is calling that one out to his teammates, saying, hey, it's clear for right now. I've got the sniper rifle out, but there's at least one player here, and you see Segatar on the back of your map rotating here toward A, and they have to be very wary of that. I like the play from Recover, just not peeking at his head too much. Playing spoils. And doing his best not to reveal his position unless he absolutely has to. Recover shuts down Hate, and you have Segatar watching through that cabin cut. Skyz says, thank you very much. There's the pick. Man advantage right now for Gravity. And it looks like we could be seeing them make, yet again, another rotation back toward B, and Skyz is just trying to make sure his position is not revealed. And player number 1 is trying to spot out where they could be, and you can see player number 1 and player number 3, they're thinking maybe the rotation was made, and now it's going to be DeoX who's trying to make that scout position, and he ends up getting dropped for it. DeoX had to find a pick if his team wants to secure this round, because now Segatar, an awkward spot, pulls out the machine pistol and can't get it done. But honestly, just a very well played out round from Gravity. Of course, it kind of comes down to the wire, but for the most part, we obviously see them make the initial push toward A. We see picks happen. Skyz was able to find a huge one. And then once that happens, they make the push back toward Ruins. And once that happens, you see there's two players, one in back cabin, one kind of lingering through mid-map. The player in mid-map doesn't spot the transition happening, doesn't spot the rotation being made. And so he's kind of like the scout. He's like, well, maybe they're not here anymore. I don't really see them in cave, or I don't really see them in forest whatsoever. And so he rushes into ruins and has no idea that there's a guy pre-aiming his overall position. But smart play coming in from Gravity as yet again on offense. We see the initial rush through mid. The Skyz have a sniper rifle. It's a question that we'll never be able to know, it looks like. But Segatar pulling out the bar. Does pick up the bomb and tries to challenge on Anihmal. Isn't able to make it work, but smart play there coming in from Anihmal. Tries to go for the re-challenge, and PPSH versus bar. Honestly, based on the meta, take your pick. I think it's fair to say at this current point in time, as for those who aren't really familiar, as we do see Gravity now up 3 rounds to 2, excuse me. We have seen the meta currently change over the last few, I don't want to say days, but kind of like the last week and a half, rather. As, of course, we see the FG42 have a massive decrease in its overall usage. And the guns like the BAR, the STG44, being utilized more often. And the subcategory, PPSH, definitely still being the main gun of choice, but the assault rifle players, definitely a little bit sad. They got kind of like coal in their stocking, essentially, for Christmas. But regardless, kind of that faster play, up close and personal fights more often now in World War II, as it looks like spawning one player inside of cabin. Hate has made it behind enemy lines. Why? Because both recover, and I believe Segatar were looking at the exact same point of view. And you see 3 players inside of that A site, player number 1 and player number 4, both DeoX and JKrillex. As JKrillex does take out Anihmal with the sniper rifle, they were both hanging out in middle, and they see this rotation being made. That's the difference between the offensive round prior to this, is that they have presence inside of mid. They have vision inside of mid. So when that rotation gets made back from A, now over toward B, they're able to call it out. JKrillex misses a big snipe. And Skyz spots the leg of DeoX, you'd like to imagine. Maybe not. Goes for the quick plant. Has to hop off of it, and he's waiting for a player to challenge. Once DeoX dies, or at least receives hit markers, Recover should back up. There's no reason for Recover to challenge this. He needs to get out of dodge, and Skyz is looking for him. Skyz is hungry. Does he spot him on the dolphin dive? Nearly seconds away, as these players will have to stare at each other for a few seconds. Rather unfortunate play there from Skyz, but just in general, smart play from Recover in the end to just kind of back up. He realized that his teammate drops, and just literally seconds away, maybe 2 more seconds in that round, and Skyz easily could have clutched out that position. I believe that would have been like a 1 versus 3, but been surprised that we're seeing both JKrillex and Segatar pulling out sniper rifles. I believe Segatar is kind of swapped back now toward that bar roll. Maybe it was an accident they had 2 sniper rifles out just because of how unorthodox it is, but picked up from behind his Skyz as the site is currently being brought over toward B. Is Hate. You have to make a play. This nade actually is going to go off a branch. That's unfortunate. I believe that nade was most likely set for B-Dom, which could have taken out DeoX. However, 3 players up. Might have made an impact. You know, could maybe catch off another player if that nade would have gone through, but Call of Duty and trees, man. I mean, hey. A grenade versus a twig, you choose, I guess. But a solid round regardless for the guys on Academy, as they have now taken the advantage here, 4 rounds to 3. Keeping in mind, it was Gravity who are up 1-0 in this series at the moment, and these are best of 3, so only needing 3 more rounds, as we will see the guys on Gravity try to level this one back up at 4. Offensive rush, and you see no smokes at least being tossed off the break, as it will be Skyz who finds the early kill. And one thing to mention as well, when we talk about overall, I don't want to say clutchness, but just the way to secure a round with a man disadvantage has been very strong for the guys on the Academy. So far, we see 6 first bloods gained for the boys on Gravity. Only 2 so far for Academy. So keeping that in mind, 6 out of the 8 first bloods have been found for Gravity off the bat, and we're level at 4. So I was going to say, for the moment, if they don't win this round, that would have been half the time that they find the first blood. They don't secure the overall round. So with that in mind, be looking out for how the boys on Academy are able to kind of find that second kill, because I know constantly we hear a lot of pros kind of talk about, the first blood is important, but it's the second kill that totally turns the entire round apart. Because it either is a 4 versus 2 or a 3-on-3. And once you're in a 3-on-3, I mean, it really is any person's game. Definitely prefers the defense in that particular scenario. But first blood being gained for Academy. Exactly what they need. We like to talk about how so far in this match they've been able to clutch up with man disadvantage. Well, now they have the advantage and they're on offense. And they're making their way here toward Cabin. Can it work out? MShake is tagging up 2 people. He doesn't even realize it's 2 people. But MShake does the damage. Skyz does as well. And DeoX falls quickly after that, as the rush toward A is not successful whatsoever. As it's totally pick apart. You see all 3 players who die within a matter of, what, maybe 2 seconds? Kind of all looking at the same position. There's one guy who's looking toward back cut, but they're all kind of forced around that cabin position. And they end up dropping because of it. So, with that, it is Gravity, who is now back in the lead. 5 rounds to 4, and you see Skyz as well. 125 points away from streaks. And to be honest with you, if I'm Skyz, I'm really trying to play for these. Granted, we obviously have a round to play with. But if he can find a first blood, misses a very crucial shot. If he can find a pick or at least grab an assist or something like that, it can make their lives a lot easier when it comes down to maybe this round, or if they have to go to a round 11, that one too. And he gets tossed in from Segatar, and Skyz narrowly able to make it out of dodge. You see the shots coming in from a cover, as the first 2 frags have been found for Academy. 2 versus 4. From the flank is JKrillex, and smart play from him just to try and stay up. No challenge necessary as Skyz last up. If he can try to find at least 1 kill, that is huge. And no, is not able to do it. So heading into round 11, Skyz does not earn streaks. And now the question being, can Academy force map 3? Or can Gravity clutch up in OT to win this one in a 2-0 fashion to guarantee themselves top 8? And our $1,200 4v4 search and destroy. It will be the boys on Academy who will be offense for the final time here on Forest. And it looks like the bomb being kind of pushed back at a delayed rate. Interesting challenge from Recover. Has no teammate support to back him up. No one to trade. And, granted, it's obviously a position where he just tries to pick up for a second just to gain information, but when it comes into round 11, you can't really afford to make a risky trade or a high-level trade when there's no one behind you. You can't afford to not have anyone supporting you in a position like that. So offensive team loses the first 2 players. And JKrillex is able to get that bomb down, so they do have cabin control. How does the retake get made from Gravity? Segatar honestly just needs to kind of hold, maybe holds back Cave and tries to watch this hardcore cut, but no, not able to make it happen. Last player alive is Krillex. Can he stay alive is the thing. Shuts down one on Anihmal, tries to stay up, but will get picked off as overtime will go the way of Gravity Gaming as they win this one 6-5 with Caesar Skyz dropping to his teammate Shake as MShake says, you know what, I'm actually going to grab the defuse. I kind of helped secure this round, so I'm going to go ahead and have the glory, and I'm going to grab this one. But overtime, 1 here from the boys on Gravity as we see map 1 go round 10, map 2 go round 11 as these 2 teams, very hard-fought series. Have to give a massive credit to the guys on Academy. Really played very, very strong. And at times, looked as if that they were most likely going to take this round. Like I said, it was at different moments where it was like, okay, like, Gravity looks to be in kind of prime position to take map 2. And then at times it was like, okay, well, most likely going to see map 3 force from Academy. They're looking pretty strong. But JKrillex finishing off 10-8 despite the loss. And I believe it was MShake who obviously finished off very strong as well from the guys over on Gravity. However, though, like I said, we see what, in total, that's what, 10, 11, 21 rounds of play in 2 games. And, of course, 1 team winning the entire series like that, so only a 2-0. But still, very highly contested fight when it comes down to this particular series. Of course, like I said, USS Texas, very hard-fought battle. We saw some interesting strats coming from Academy toward the end. I believe they were 5-2 down and ended up making a pretty decent comeback in the overall scheme of things. Had some good moments where they make that 4-man flank kind of through mid-ship. They're able to kind of make a little bit of momentum happen toward the end of that match, but a little bit too late. And it was obviously the guys on Gravity who clutch up at map 1. When we come down to Search and Destroy here in Arden Forest, it was a matter of kind of utilizing those smokes. How are the offensive teams kind of finding those first kills? And like I said, there were a lot of clutch moments from Gravity where it was a matter of kind of catching the enemy off guard, kind of limiting them to a certain point on the map. And when it comes down to Cabin, right, there was a few moments where we saw, I believe it was one of the offensive rounds. It was like a 2 versus 3 or a 2 versus 2. I believe it was a 2 versus 2 for Gravity. And they end up kind of making a rotation from A. Skyz ends up getting a pick on one player, and they make the rotation back toward B. And the reason why it works out for them is because no one from the guys on Academy are working together. There's a guy who kind of comes out as a scout, tries to make a challenge onto that B bomb site, gets kind of picked off. But in that round 11, also another play that we end up seeing kind of being involved from Cabin. One guy runs from Cabin, ends up going toward Ruins, picks off, I don't remember who it was from Academy for that first blood. I mean, losing a player, losing the first blood rather, in a round 11 while you're on offense is just the worst scenario to kind of find yourselves in, because it's a matter of, okay, our teammate drops. What information does he have? Well, someone's sitting somewhere in Ruins. Like that. That's